Hi folks, today we are going to have another civic lesson, this one concerning the Constitution of these here United States of America and its relationship to health care where the federal government wants to get involved, alright? I don't care what you call it, how they do it, it is unconstitutional. But they get away with it where they do meet the constitutional challenge even though it's unconstitutional. Nowhere in that document does it mention anything or alludes to health care. Where they get it from is something called the Interstate Commerce Clause, which is Article 1, Section 8, Clause 3 of the Constitution. In the 1930s, during the Franklin Roosevelt administration, they bastardized the Interstate Commerce Clause in the Supreme Court, which gave us an intrusive government, federal government, from the 1930s, and it's been accelerating to date. That Interstate Commerce Clause has nothing to do with what they are hallucinating nowadays. Let me explain to you where that came from. When the government was first formed after the Revolution, was an Articles of Confederation, was our legal document. Well, it made the government weak. So they sent delegates to Philadelphia, 55 of them in 1787, to strengthen the Articles of Confederation. Instead, they scrapped it and came up with the Constitution. Prior to this, the 13 states were behaving like 13 independent nations with their own currency and tariffs between each of the states. If you wanted to ship goods from North Carolina to New York, you paid a tariff. Well, in the Constitution, in Article 1, where they inserted the Interstate Commerce Clause, it was to break down those barriers, break down the tariffs, and have a uniform currency to effect a smooth flow of interstate commerce amongst the states. That's what it was intended for till the 1930s when it got bastardized. Now back to that Constitutional Convention. Now remember, when you want to interpret any law, such as the Constitution, you look at the intent of the founders. The founders here went on into government. We had 15 senators out of them, 10 members of the House of Representatives, 6 cabinet members, 4 governors, 3 Supreme Court justices, 2 presidents, and 1 federal judge, all involved in government. How come not a one of them are those people who wrote the Constitution, who went on to government in those various positions, how come not a one said, hey, we forgot health care, we need to implement that? Because it was not in the Constitution. Because the 10th Amendment to the Constitution reads that that which is not in this document, and I'm paraphrasing, belongs to the state and the people. So if there was to be health care, it wasn't the sphere of the federal government or the responsibility. It belonged to the people or the states. That's why the very people who wrote that document went on to government, never called for the federal government to be involved in health care in any manner until the 1930s when it was bastardized. Gabish? You want to know the intent of the founders? They wrote something called the Federalist Papers explaining their intent. You will not find health care in there. You look at the volumes of correspondence between these gentlemen. You will not find health care there. It only got destroyed in the 1930s and accelerated to date. It was Thomas Jefferson who said that when the government is afraid of the people, you have freedom. But when the people are afraid of the government, you have tyranny. Guess what, kids? We have tyranny! Yay! Alright, folks. We'll see you. God bless you. God bless it. Alright. God bless America. And God bless the nation you happen to be. See you.
To the far for 300,000 more, shouting the battle cry of freedom.